What if I told you that the monsters that kept you up at night at it were not invented? Freddy Krueger, Hannibal Lecter, Leatherface, Pennywise. Hollywood didn't create them from nothing. They found them in newspapers, in police reports, in real crime scenes. Every single monster you're about to hear was inspired by a real human being. And trust me, the real versions were worse. Horror movies have one job: to scare you. But the scariest thing a filmmaker can do is base their story on something that actually happened. Because there's a moment, usually around 3 a.m. when you're lying in the dark and your brain whispers, this wasn't fiction. Today, we're going through the most iconic horror monsters in cinema history and revealing the real documented human beings who inspired them. Some of these you may have heard of. Most of them you haven't. And by the end of this video, you will never watch these movies the same way again.
Let's start with the clown.
In 1986, Stephen King published It, a shape-shifting monster that lived in the sewers of a small town and preferred the shape of a clown. Most people assumed Pennywise was pure fiction, a nightmare king invented on a rainy afternoon. He didn't. In the 1970s in Chicago, Illinois, there was a man named John Wayne Gacy. By day, he was a respected contractor, a party clown known as Pogo the Clown. He visited children's hospitals in costume. Parents trusted him. His neighbors described him as the nicest man on the street. Between 1972 and 1978, Gacy murdered 33 young men and boys. He buried many victims beneath his home. The idea behind Pennywise wasn't just a scary clown. It was the realization that evil can hide behind a friendly face.
The monster hands you a balloon first.
Chapter 2. Leatherface. In 1974, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre terrified audiences. A masked killer, a chainsaw, a house full of horrors. The inspiration was Ed Gein, a quiet farmer from Wisconsin. When police searched his property in 1957, they discovered disturbing evidence connected to grave robbing and human remains. Gein became one of the most influential inspirations in horror history. He also helped inspire Norman Bates from Psycho and Buffalo Bill from The Silence of the Lambs. One real person influenced multiple iconic horror villains, because sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. Hannibal Lecter, 639. Calm, intelligent, unsettling. Hannibal Lecter is sophisticated, intelligent, polite. Author Thomas Harris said the character was partly inspired by a doctor he met in Mexico named Alfredo Treviño. Treviño appeared educated, calm, and charming. Only later did Harris learn he had committed a homicide. What fascinated Harris wasn't brute violence, it was composure, the ability to appear completely normal. Hollywood didn't invent every nightmare. Sometimes it found inspiration in real events. The thing that makes these stories frightening isn't just what happened, it's that many of the people involved appeared ordinary. Their neighbours didn't know, their communities didn't know, which leaves one final question. How many frightening stories are still hiding behind ordinary faces? If this video unsettled you, then it did its job. Subscribe for more true stories stranger than fiction and tell me in the comments, which one scared you the most? I'll see you in the next one. Don't watch this alone at night.